Hello, chess fans. It's great to be here with you. Running down to the final rounds here of Tata Steel. Tomorrow's the last day. I'm going to be more consistent on posting on this channel, mostly because I see an opportunity. Because I'm looking on YouTube for having the games covered, and not many people covering the games. Well, I just don't like the way they cover them. It's pretty boring or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just going to cover these games the way I see them. I know there's a lot of controversy around Hans cheating, booty beads, and more. But I've grown to like Hans. So you're going to see a lot of Hans games. If you're a Hans fan, you're going to love this channel. It's going to be a lot of Hans games. A lot of Hans Moke Niemann. Future, as Hikaru would say, the future U.S. chess champion. And we have an amazing game lined up for you today. 12th round, Tata Steel, Hans Niemann with the white pieces. And he's going to go into the Spanish. He deviates from the Italian. I'm sure he doesn't want to go to the Italian because Gukesh probably's got crazy prep for his Italian game. So he goes into the Spanish. Spanish is, that's what you play when you want to try and win. He goes into the Spanish. We get a little bit of what they call Morphy's defense. Nothing too complicated here. If you play chess avidly, you're familiar with this variation. We get a little exchange of rooks. That A file opens up. Queen occupies the A file. Got a nice little setup here with the diagonal X ray and the long white diagonal. This nice little development here with the knight. Protecting the knight. You know, maybe you want to bring the bishop here, protect your pawn structure. But as you're going to see, Hans takes with the pawn, which the computer says is the right move. Now, me being the mere 1900 on chess, on lead chess, I would have definitely played bishop takes. But I think it makes sense. Like, if I had time to think about it, it does make sense because this pawn is getting pushed. You put your bishop there, your bishop's going to have to go back, right? So, you know, if you take here, you know, this is coming and now you got to go back, right? So yeah, totally makes sense. So he takes with the pawn. Queen comes in, not exactly sure. Maybe this is some sort of X-ray. And we get a shuffle of the knights and everything's pretty normal so far. Right here, Hans decides, I want to keep my light square bishop. It's kind of crucial in the Ruy Lopez setup. He drops it back. Look like he wants to control this diagonal. There's nobody there, but maybe it comes into play in the future. Queen develops. Looks like he might be trying to bring the rook in, control that diagonal. Let's see what happens. Okay, bishop comes in, looking to damage some pawn structure stuff here. And Hans says, let me take the initiative. Let's get a little bit of tempi. Queen dodges. The knight comes in, and he actually decides to sack the knight. This is why I like Hans, because Hans is a dynamic player. He's going to mix it up. He's going to create imbalances in the position. This is why I like him. He plays, you know, I fancy myself to be a bit of a Hans style player. I definitely wouldn't have made this move. I don't know. I think computer says better move was just bring the knight back. This is what I would have played, but Hans is crazy. So he decides to drop the knight back, and here we have the bishop offer, but can't take just yet because your queen. That's how you Botez Gambit. So you know, principled. Rook A3 protecting. King comes in. Okay, I like it. Okay, doubling up on the A file. Finally, we get the trade. Do you take with the rook here? You take with the queen. I'm taking with the rook. He takes with the queen. Okay, this is all the variation. By the way, we're still in the variation, and this is where the variation ends according to computers. This is what could have happened. Let's go back to the game. We get knight takes. Computer says mistake. Pawn takes. Queen takes. So in exchange for the knight, you get 2 pawns. Okay. Tempi, knight attacks the queen. He brings it back. I guess that's okay. Not my style of play. I mean, I guess this makes sense, right? Keeping your queen here, but I'm not somebody who likes to use their queen for defense. I probably would have dropped it back here, but at the same time, I guess this makes sense because here you still have a chance to trade the queens, but down a piece, I don't think you want to trade queens. Anyway, the game continues. And Gukesh plays an inaccuracy. They say actually Queen C8 is the best move. And yeah, so offering the queen trade was actually not good, but being up, that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like that's what you're taught. You're up a piece, start the exchanges. Hans says, no, sir. Another inaccuracy. And computer said, oh, let the queen trade happen, but first, let's kick the bishop. Anyway, the game continues, and Gukesh decides H5 is going to protect my bishop. Okay, there we go. We got a little bit of a kicking of the knight, but before you kick the knight, let's kick the queen. Kick the queen out. Knight protects the pawn. I like it. I like it. Tempe. In between move, intermezzo. Okay, moving the queen, attacking the little pawn right there. The knight hops in. Gukesh says, I don't care about that pawn. I'm coming for your neck because this pawn is super loose. We get queen e4. Not exactly sure what's going on with queen e4. Maybe he wants to go here and then take the bishop. I think that's the idea. Queen c8. Yeah, queen c8 comes in. Protects. Looks good. Rook comes in. Applying more guidance, more defense. Maybe potentially bringing the rook here, attack this pawn. Queen f4 comes in, offering the queen trade. At this point, you got to trade the queens. Otherwise, this pawn is going to be super loose, loosey-goosey. So we get the queen trade. Bishop comes in. King comes in. Okay, developing the king. Makes sense. Bishop hops back. Attacking that rook. Rook moves. Attacks the bishop back. Bishop goes to a nice principled square right there. Looking for his exchange. And Hans... evaluation still coming down. This is crazy. Black has a 2.7 advantage. And we do get the trade. Now we got the split pawns, the dreaded split pawns. F5 is played inaccuracy. Says the computer. En passant is possible here. The line goes rook d8. Obviously looking for the checkcito. We get king g4 in the variation, attacking the knight. Take it anyway. Give him the knight, because if you give him the knight, you get the bishop. Okay, rook comes, protects. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. Wow. And this is, I guess this is winning. Wow. Okay. Check. Okay, yeah, this is the variation, the deep computer stuff that I do not understand. Let's continue. So we had f5, no en passant. Rook, attack the knight. We got king h7 protecting the knight, makes sense. Then a blunder. Blunder comes in. Can you find the move? Can you find the move? I don't know. It says G3 was best. G3. Now that's a move I definitely would have played. You know, I just keeping things simple. You know, try to make sure this pawn doesn't queen at some moment. But anyway, we get the blunder. And then Gukesh starts to pounce. G4, looking for a little action over there on the king side. En passant, finally. Takes. Rook takes. Oof. We got an X-ray on the king right here. Bish E1. Oh, pawn push right there. Can't take, that's pinned. Pawn's got to drop, right? King E3 comes back. Okay, there it is. And then we get the trade of the rooks. And then Gukesh blunders back. Blunder Rama. Gukesh says, man, I think I got this sewn up. I got this sewn up. I got the connected past pawns. I got the king support, and I got the knight. Surely I can push my pawns down the board, says Gukesh. Computer says completely even. Pawn takes, knight takes, check. King moves up. King g6. Here we go. We got the king march happening. Now the king definitely wants to control the IQP right there. Knight check, okay. Controlling the square so the king can't start maneuvering. We get a check. We hop back. Little maneuvering. Hans is like, man, listen, I just want to draw. Gukesh says, no, sir. Here comes that pawn. Check. King comes over. Blunder again. It's the third blunder of the game. Third blunder of the game. Best move. King D6. Let's check out the variation. King D6. F4 pushing. Yes, it's completely winning. You can't stop the pawns. Cannot stop the pawns. They're just gonna keep on rolling, and yeah, that's gonna be a losing endgame right there. Nothing you can do about it. Anyway, we get a blunder, and Gukesh blunders back. It's a fourth blunder. The fourth blunder. Back-to-back blunders. Oh my God. Hans trying to capitalize. Can Hans squeeze out a draw here? Now I'm telling you right now, I could not stop this. Gukesh is gonna beat me 10 times out of 10 with these connected pass pawns rolling down the board. Bishop E1, okay. Maneuvering the knight, okay. Gukesh is trying to figure out. He's got 3 minutes. Gukesh has 3 minutes at this point in the game. Hans has 21. You know Hans plays fast. Seems like Gukesh just can't figure it out. Hans is gonna use this bishop, it looks like, to control these pawns. The knight comes in, check, can't take. That's going to be a blunder. That's going to be a blunder. These pawns are going to start rolling, and that's going to be the end of your Tata Steel career. Yeah, it's not going to work. So the king starts maneuvering in. That's a brilliant move, by the way. This move right here is brilliant. Offering up the knight. How many people are going to find that move? How many people find that move? In a blitz match, bullet match, you're definitely getting suckered. Anyway, knight comes in, attacks the bishop, but there's nothing to be done. There's nothing to be done. Keep in mind, you can't even push this pawn here. You can't push this pawn. You can't do it. Because after takes, this is a drawn endgame. This is an absolute drawn endgame. So you can't even do that. And what do we get? Finally, the match ends in a draw. Hans is able to pull it out. Wow. Now, my favorite to win the tournament. Let's take a look at his game. My boy Nodirbek. Yeah. He's got Bluebaum. Everybody's talking about Bluebaum. Let's see how this goes. These kids know how to fight. So we're gonna come out. We got the Queen's Gambit declined. You guys are familiar with this. Yeah, nice, just normal stuff here. All normal stuff. Nothing too crazy. Shuffling. I mean, classic right here. I mean, what's the bishop gonna do? It's not doing anything there. Calm down. Let's control these squares. Let's control that diagonal. I like it. Okay, maneuvering. Ooh, nasty. I like this. Because if you offer it up, the knight gets kicked around. Maybe you push this pawn. I don't know. I like it. So we do get the takes, which is inaccuracy. The take is an inaccuracy, but these guys are pros. They have plans in mind. Okay, knight comes in. Oh, there's the pawn. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, all right. There's the pawn I was expecting. Let's keep rolling. Oh, there's that bishop. Okay. Boom. All right. Kicking the knight, in between move, intermezzo. He says, Bluebaum says you can have the knight. I want the bishop. And they make the exchange. And then we get the pawn push in the middle. Wait, why can't you do this? Oh, you just pull. Yeah. Classic pin. And the pawn falls. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. Turn the engine off. Queen A5. Okay. I'm not sure about the plans of Queen A5. Oh, no, obviously. Yeah, there it is. Queen A5 attacking the pawn. Looking for the checkasita. We get that. King dodges. Don't take the pawn. Don't take the pawn and hang your queen. Another Botez gambit. Okay. Can we? Okay. He's being patient about taking this. Being patient about taking that pawn. Maybe there's a reason he can't. Okay, we're moving the queens. That's a nice square. That's fundamental. You get these isolated pawns, you got to stop them from rolling. Puts the knight right there. Okay, all right. Exchange of pawns. Rook takes. Okay, there it is. The infiltration rook. Classic 7th rank rook infiltration move. Let's see how Bluebaum responds. Bluebaum says, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to cage the rook in. Where's the rook going now? Nodirbek says, I got plans. I have plans. Brings the rook over. And just like that, Bluebaum blunders. Can you find a move? Can you find a move? If you watch Gotham, you know what's coming. First of all, let's get Tempe. Hit the queen. Queen's got to run. Sack the rook. There it is. There it is. So instead of queen c7, computer says a variation here is bring the queen in, you know, nice and principled, attack the knight. You probably have to connect the knights at this point. Nope, you sack the rook again. Okay, in between move, check. All right. Queen takes, check, check. Wow. Check, check. Okay, and then you pick up the bishop. Okay, that makes sense. Completely winning for white. All right. So yeah, it seems like it was not much Bluebaum could have done at this point. Already before this move, it's completely even before the blunder. Anyway, we get the rook sack, and then the queen comes in principled. Nice principled move, looking for the checkmate. First of all, check Tempe, hop in. Queen comes in like, hold on now, hold on. It's a lot going on here. Nodirbek says, give me the bishop finally. Bluebaum says, I'm not giving up yet. Knight comes in, attacks the rook. The fork, the royal fork is coming in. Oh, it doesn't look good. Up 4.5, says the computer for white. Queen comes in, check. Pushes the pawn to block. Queen takes knight. Knight takes, oh yeah, and then it's just all over. It's all over from here. Takes, yeah. This you can't win this. Yeah. And then yeah, right here. The king's cut off. The king's cut off. We've got the piece advantage. One or two of these pawns are gonna fall. And that's it. Nodirbek is cooked. So let's go to the standings. What are the standings? Let's see. Let's go to lead chess and see what the standings are. Who's in the lead? I actually don't know who's in the lead. Let's see here. Click Masters and let's see. Okay, let's go to the official website. Where are the standings? Can't find. Oh, there they are. Here we go. Who's in first place? Oh, my boy Nodirbek is in first place. How much? Oh, he's up a half a point. He's up a half a point over Sindarov. Sindarov in second place. There's only one more round left tomorrow. Oh, this is going to be tight. Jordan van Forest. So, okay, wait. So who is playing tomorrow? What does round 13 look like? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Who's playing in round 13? Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, chat. Let's see who's in round 13. Okay, round 13 pairings. Nodirbek versus Ergaisi. And who does Sindarov play? Oh, wow. Sindarov's who's this Nyun? I'm sorry, chat. I'm not as good as Gotham with the names. But I'm gonna go ahead, jump out the window and says, well, Sindarov has the black pieces. He needs a win. Nodirbek needs a draw against Arjun Ergaisi. It's gonna be a tight race. I will be back tomorrow with the upload to show you guys the winner. We'll cover some games. Definitely going to cover some haunts and presses. We'll definitely take a look at that. Where did Hans play so far? Hans is top 5. He's in the 4th spot with 7 points. Wow. Wow. Shout out to my boy Hans. Anyway, it's a wrap. If you guys have suggestions, if you enjoyed this, if you don't like it, you know, be fair, rip me apart. Tell me do this better, do that better. We don't want this, we want that. Tell me, and I'll bring you guys the content. And check out my lovely sponsors, Pawn Patrol. Pawn Patrol, if you want to teach your kids how to play chess, the greatest tool to teach your kids how to play chess. And of course, manavorder.com. We have the nootropics to help you focus. You guys want to lock in on those rapid and those long games, even blitz. You might need to have a fast mind for those blitz and bullet matches. Anyway, I'm Hotep Jesus, and I'm out of here.